Hello everybody and welcome back to the Foundry Reviews. It is I, Sly, accompanied by John and Ken today, reviewing another episode of Loki, episode 5, Science Fiction. How you guys doing?
We are doing great. We
Yes.
are so ready to talk about this episode.
I'm dying to talk about this.
Yeah, we've been waiting.
It's been itching, man.
Stewing, man.
Yeah. That's fucking... God damn it, dude. God damn it, dude.
This is not starting great. I'm getting.
This was light work, dude. My
negative
intro
vibes.
was enough.
No, man. It's fucking... Yeah. It was... I don't think I have anything actually good to say about this episode. Actually,
let's think of some key words to summarize.
I'm literally thinking of throughout what did I like in this episode besides when it ended, and I'm like, nice, that's a good amount of credits on that airtime there.
OB.
So,
OB was good.
he was funny. He was genuinely funny. I liked him.
Still classic OB.
OB's consistent.
And Loki
he
was
trying to sell his book. It was super. That was cute. He was like,
Big
"Quit
buys
putting
there."
your books on our shelf.
It was pathetic,
Like,
and it made me really sad.
I love you're a bestseller of sorts. You're kind of
It's
moving
on,
forward.
It's on every desk. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's funny. Yeah, that was really good. I really liked Loki get emotional in the bar. That convinced me pretty good.
That shit hurt.
Yeah, I liked it. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? You know?
I don't want to be alone. I'm
At
like,
the
damn.
same
That's
time,
okay.
I wish she came down on him a little bit harder about taking people from their timeline and you're doing exactly what the TVA did, dude. And you're taking people away from their lives to fucking because he's like, oh, we gotta save it. It's like, do you though? But then it just came down. It's like, oh, everything's getting fucking flayed and shit now. We're spaghettied. And it's like, we're just doing the dust again. Like, really? That's all you can come up with? Dust again?
Yeah, it
That's
was
my
very
issue with
reminiscent.
her is, they're both Loki, and it's like, dude, he's a god that embodies free will, and she took away their choice. Loki wants to give that back to them. Hey, do you want to live on the timeline, or do you want to have the TVA? She's just like, no, I just want things to go back to the way it was for everybody. And it's like, okay, well, now they're all blissfully unaware of the TVA. That didn't fix anything.
I agree. I think a choice is really important there, but it's but she's also, I think she's right when she says you're going to show them something they can't unsee.
Yeah. Oh,
This is
100%.
true.
I agree.
And we don't know if I guess what we don't know is whether they chose to be in the TVA to begin with, or if they were forced.
Dude,
But I guess this will be forming the TVA, so I guess they would have chosen. It's weird.
You know what's terrible to think about? How Loki's convincing Mobius to come back with him. He's like, oh, you can come back in time with your sons and you take care of them. There's going to be a timeline out there where their dad doesn't come back. And obviously he can go back in time at that point and be that dad again, you know?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, the timeline's progressing.
Yeah, it will keep going and stuff like that. And he's just abandoning his fucking children, you know? That's so fucked up to think about. And Loki's like, fuck your sons, dude. You're my best friend.
Anytime, bro.
You're my best friend, but fuck your kids, dude.
Yeah, we get into weird time stuff when we think about that shit. Because, it's weird because, yeah, he could just go back to when he left and they would never know. But if all instances of time just, exist at once, how does that work?
Yeah, it doesn't, rewrite what happened.
Yeah, because that means, that does kind of imply that there's a branch from that
Just-
timeline where he doesn't come back, like you said. And
That's
so they're
what's
just,
always-
screwed.
Loki was just
That's
kind of
what always confused me about timeline stuff like that. It's until he comes back, there's a reality where that timeline just keeps going.
Yeah.
And theoretically,
It exists.
they die.
Yeah. Yeah, they exist where their father abandons them and everything like that, you know? That's real.
Wild.
Yeah.
We're getting real into this child abandonment side story.
I thought he was a shitty father at first. I thought they were teeing up for that when he's like, which son? I was like, bro, oh my god. Your
The one
son's on
that's
hold."
not lighting his toys on fire.
Apparently.
Deadbeat. He's like, oh, can I have a snake? It's like, you've given your dad a hard time being such a boy, you.
Yeah. So another thing about this episode that's really confusing is the whole, you were talking a little bit
Why
it's
isn't
basically
Sylvia attractive?
dusting.
Agreed.
No, shut up. It's the basically the dusting effect, the spaghettification. It's why it's selective. It's it has a mind of its own. Why was it
Like there's some
like
invisible
near the beginning of the
plot
episode.
armor or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like around Loki, but not. You'd think it would like work its way out in like a wave, be like from where the freaking loom was, but no, it's like it's making its way just however it pleases. And then even when Sylvie's reality gets destroyed, it's just like all around her, but not her. And she's like really la-di-da about like teleporting out of there. Like she has all the time in the world to get out of there. Like, what kind of weird ass tension is this? Like, I don't understand. You should be a little more scared about the fact that your whole reality that you're in is being destroyed, and you should be unsure about when you need to leave. There's no way you know exactly the time at which there's no coming back.
Yeah.
I also have a question where it's kind of weird because like in the very first episode, he's like, "Oh, this is what you need. You need to prune yourself at this time to fix your time slipping," and then boom, he like slips by accident and he drops the little prune rod. And before he slipped with the book, and like in this episode, I can't remember if he put it in his pocket or if he was holding it, but he slipped while holding it, but it came with him the second time. And I'm like, what's his? I don't know. It shows just inconsistent, and I hate this time travel shit, and I hate that it's become the plot. It's like just one big plot device, and it's the story now, and they're not doing a great job of
That's why it's called science fiction.
Yeah,
it's about the character motivation, not about the logic. But like when your show's built on logic from the beginning, you kind of need to keep
it's
it
like
consistent
what
so we can
is the
assume
point?
What's gonna happen.
Yeah, I feel like it's nice for the audience to think to themselves like, here's what I think will happen next, or here's what I want to happen next, and that's why you watch, because you're personally invested and have stakes into it, and
understand the logic.
And you can't just throw curveballs left and right just because and say like, oh, we swerve the audience, like
occasionally it's fine.
Yes, I agree, but like if it makes sense, but nothing's really making sense to me, and I don't think they're doing any kind of justice explaining what the fuck's going on. Like I'm still at a loss. I still don't know where the show is going. I feel like it's going nowhere. I feel like it's gone nowhere.
Yeah, like when they fix the loom, what's gonna happen? You have a bunch of branch timelines.
I think like, how are you gonna fix a loom? Like what? Like they just say this and they're like, oh, we're gonna make the loom bigger so it can hold more timelines. I'm like, how? What the fuck is the loom doing right now with the timeline? Oh, it's like the way they had to like put it in physical fucking detail and show us because we're fucking morons, and then we need to be able to audio visual to see what it is to make sense. It's just a giant glowing like Saturn ring around the fucking TVA. It's like that's a timeline. Like what? Like
but what's it actually doing? Like, why does it need to manage all the timelines?
Yeah, it's just like it's just fucking like boobly. It's gobbledygook. That's what this fucking show is. It's gobbledygook.
Yeah.
Gobbledygook out of 10. That's my official fucking score.
I think my highlight of the episode is a parallel that I don't think they intended to do because they haven't, intentionally done anything right. It's a parallel I see from last season's episode 5 to this season's episode 5. And it's in the bar scene when Loki's like just kind of spilling his guts to Sylvie. Even though they didn't do that scene amazingly, he carried it.
Yeah.
I saw the similarities between him and that
classic
OG Loki. Classic Loki. Where he's like, I just missed my brother at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's why they found me.
That's what
that's what reminded me of this Loki. It's like, dude, our fucking Loki, he's just scared to be alone.
Yeah, which he admitted, like, I think in the last season's episode, I think he just straight up said, like, I'm afraid to be alone. That's why
he doesn't know how to, without people around him or adoration, he doesn't know how to just live a normal life. So he could never fit in.
He's a people's Loki.
Timeline. He is the people's Loki, yeah. He could never have his own life on the timeline. That is impossible for Loki.
Which is, I guess little Sylvie had a different grow up scenario, so she's just not gonna be the same kind of Loki. I was gonna be like, well, Loki, that makes sense though. No, you're right. Like I said, I wish I could talk and say like, oh, here's the good things, but I already did. The rest of the episode is just like time slipping around and then him going to a bunch of
the band back together. The band back together that was never really a band, in my opinion. Like he's like, I just want to see my friends, and I'm like, what? They're your friends? Like Mobius? Sure, you guys work together. You had banter. It was fun, but
Dude.
and maybe OB.
Hang on,
because
real quick.
OB's awesome.
Real quick, the first thing that fucking Loki does, like when he's in the room and he's like looking around the TVA for everybody, the first thing he does, like for Mobius, he checks the key lime pie area where they have the key lime pies.
This is true. That was funny. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
That was good. So
I kind of overlooked that.
that one makes sense. They've had a chance to like communicate and talk and get to know each other at a personal level, based on their conversations. No, none of the other characters have they really gotten to know. He's gotten to know Casey a little bit with a few of his interactions.
And the fish gutting.
Yeah, the fish gutting. Yeah, that was funny. OB's like just an upbeat character, so sure. Was it B-15, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of with a few interactions,
We
but
have
they
a
were like
fucking name,
opposing each other for quite a while too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even have a fucking name, you know?
Yeah.
But like him and Mobius, like Mobius helped his like personality kind of. He is the reason why Loki had this change of persona in season 1.
He
He
caught him
literally
up.
was like, "Look at what a fucking miserable, shitty life you've had, bro. All right, now you're gonna come work with me. Also, key lime pie.
Yeah,
That shit was gas.
Yeah, I loved how Loki said, it's like, you made me discover who I am and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, it was very, very emotional. And this Mobius is like, I've jet skis and suns. It's just like, I cringed
and
so
the
hard.
the pleading to get him to come back didn't even. It felt kind of like very like surface level. It wasn't like, I know you, like we're friends. Like I've known you for. I don't even know how long they've known each other technically, but like they've gotten to know each other. He knows personal details about him or anything like that. It didn't feel like it was because I need my friend back. It was, I don't know, it felt kind of basic of like trying to get him to rejoin essentially. I don't know. All of them were just, I mean, that was the most meaningful one. The other ones were just like, hey, come join me. And then they just joined. I'm like, really? That's it? Like, you somehow convinced them like that easily?
Yeah, it was terrible seeing him go to different like timelines and try to talk to people, and I felt like everyone was out of place. I felt like the acting was bad. Even Mobius.
Did you notice that B-15 was in New York City in 2012? That's like right around when he would have been taking over New York City. Like that's the same year.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
Oh, it is.
I don't know when. It didn't say when in 2012, but that's
true.
the same year. So if it was after, it would be interesting because she might have recognized him based on the fact that he tried to take over New York City. But the fact that the buildings weren't destroyed, I would assume that it meant it was before he tried to take over New York City.
I was just upstate, so it didn't matter.
Actually, in the suburbs.
Yeah. I was just at the very end of the episode, we literally teleport right back to square one where we were at the last point of the last episode at the very end. So it's like nothing has changed. It's just the only thing that has changed is that Loki realizes he loves his friends, which we all fucking knew, and that now he can time slip, which we realized that could happen in episode 1, but it was just fucking, they took
now
us.
we can control it.
Yep. Which
nice.
We said at the very beginning of the show too. We're like, oh, I kind of wish if the show was like centered around him time slipping. Gotta
That
fucking
is
wish.
true. I did say that. I
Yeah.
do remember saying that as well. That's super funny.
But the problem is now he's just controlling it, so now he's pretty much just a like portable, more portable time traveler.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
He
him
literally can go
him-
anywhere he wants
yeah.
on the whim.
Yeah, the weird plot hole at the end. I don't know if that means that like what I consider is the plot hole. I don't know if that's just him, the effect of him being able to control it now.
Yeah, it is different. I agree.
I didn't care for his explanation of it. You know, instead of the what or the why, it's the who. I was
Yeah,
like, what the
sure.
fuck?
Oh, you gotta get
Get
the
outta here with
temporal
this.
aura together, and you gotta jerk it all at the same time. You know, and it's like this means this is gobbledygook. I said it right.
You know what's really sad about this whole episode? He goes to see OB. OB helps him figure it out.
I
He spends
know.
months
19 months.
He loses
trying to
his
figure
wife.
that shit out. Loses his wife, loses his job. He loses everything. He figures it out, and then he's like, "Oh, well, we died anyway."
Yeah, it does matter.
Like, oh, it's
It's
so
like, oh,
sad.
my wife
Poor
left me. I
OB.
had divorce. And it's like, this poor man.
But I built this thing. It was funny watching him play around with it. He moving that little boiler around. But
yeah, it's like kind of glitching. It's just like shimmying everywhere. He's like, I just
Yeah.
figured this out.
Rough draft version is pretty
poor
cool.
guy. I love OP, but damn. Yeah, and then Sylvie was way too relaxed with her timeline. It was so weird. Felt so weird to me. I guess it was supposed to be either like, you know, poetic or something. I don't know, artistic. The way that she was listening to the record, and then you know the record started floating, or I don't know. It was weird.
Of
Very
them like,
strange.
hey, remember the end of Infinity War, and let's try to simulate those vibes again, where everything's just kind of disappearing around them.
Yeah, or something. You know, cool. Are we gonna like? Are we gonna like keep referencing this like we did with the blip? Like somehow.
I know,
like,
right?
That time when everything just got.
Remember when the
destroyed.
timelines got fucking pruned? Oh, what a time!
Crazy.
No, I go to 8th grade again for 5 fucking years with Spider-Man. Nah, there's a bunch of fucking terrorists that fucking. That's so fucking stupid. It's like, oh, it's a catalyst for more shitty fucking TV shows and movies, I guess. So fucking shit. Even like fucking Marvel's such a shithole. They're like, oh, Robert Downey Jr. come back.
Oh God. Let's not even go down.
They
that
want him.
rabbit
They
hole.
want the OGs for another movie.
I
Don't
wouldn't
they?
even save it if the writing's still bad.
Fuck it, dude. Just fucking let it. Just let it fucking die then. You know. Just finish out your Kang bullshit and then just like be done with it. Realize
Well,
it's
they're
dead.
even trying to undo that too now.
I better not. I want Kang. I like Kang. I like Jonathan Majors quite a bit. I was really hoping to see more of him in this show, but we did not.
I feel like we'll
Sorry,
get a
but
decent
Victor
amount in the last
Timely was
episode.
much better than the King.
Dude, I wanted to see the variants all at the end of the fucking season, last season. They're like, oh, you're gonna see all the different variants of me. It's gonna be fucking crazy and shit. And then we were like, hey, I'm fucking, like, I'm Inventor Man. Like, awesome. I like Inventor Man. Where's the other Kangs? It's like, non-existent.
where are the rest of you?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. That was just a personal hope that I wanted to see more Kangs. I feel like that would have been a decent opportunity to, I don't know, show the audience of like, here's the big bad that we are warning you the entire time about. Cannot fucking wait for the cliffhanger of episode 6 for me to be fucking angry about.
For real, give me some Kang Bang.
For me to have to
man.
wait
Hey.
fucking 500 days for season 3.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Such, I have like such a fucking like apathy like for this now, and it really sucks because I love the first season.
Like, do you want after this them to tie this into an MCU film, or have repercussions in another show, or do you want this to kind of stand alone? Because let's face it, season 1 stood alone.
Dude.
It impacted absolutely shit.
Do you remember when we thought that like Loki was gonna make an appearance in the Doctor Strange sequel?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought that was the original plan. That got scrapped.
I thought so too. And I've
No, I
heard
feel
rumors
like
that
this
he's
is
going to
not
make an
gonna-
appearance in the Deadpool sequel. But I'm like, I can't trust shit. 'Cause
I'd rather
everyone says,
eat rocks.
yeah. What
Yeah, I
kind?
feel like this is gonna end up standing alone. It'll do something to explain, you know, the fact that, you know,
It
Kang
can set up
is
like
back.
Kang. Yeah, like
but-
how
Part of me
dangerous
feels like
Kang
that's the
is.
issue
That's
with all the
fine.
shows, though.
That's
all
fine
the
with
fucking
me.
shows have stood alone, and because of that, most of them have been shit.
No, man, I have felt the presence of the Flag Smashers in every single fucking film I have seen in the last 2 years in every single TV show.
Funny guy. You funny guy.
I have felt fucking U.S. agent and his fucking shitty aluminum foil fucking shields.
It's actually just from crushed soda cans.
He's such a fucking loser, man. I don't think there's ever been a bigger loser in the MCU than that fucking guy. And then for them to still, at the end of the show, and be like,
paint it black.
and then at the end of the show, for them to still go up to him and says, "We got a job for you." It's like, what? Like, what possibly? What job do you want him to fail at?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The dude is terrible at his job. He can't do anything right. He's a model U.S. soldier.
A U.S. agent, perhaps. Wow.
God, that's funny.
I don't think I have anything else that I could.
I don't think they have anything
Dude,
else,
you
bro.
can't really say anything. Are we done filming the episode? No, it was not great. I don't think it was a bad episode. Lackluster writing, lackluster like acting. It was meh. It was this. If I could be like, oh, this is a filler episode. This was a filler episode.
I mean, technically, kind of. The only thing it did was get Loki to learn his power to time slip, I guess.
It's
And,
like, what's the
who
joke?
knows
It's
if
like
that'll like last, you know?
the power all along was friendship. You know, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Which you really need to earn that kind of thing. Like you need to build up that friendship for a long time to be like for it to really hit you and like be like, yeah, these characters all really care about each other. Like I didn't get a sense that anyone cares about anyone else besides Loki caring about the fact that he has friends or people he can call friends. I didn't get a sense that all the others were like, you know, super, you know, the camaraderie between them. Like, yeah, let's do it, guys. Like, I don't get any sense.
I feel like Loki does.
I need that to feel
not
like the
giving
power of friendship.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. I agree.
So it's a little bit tough.
It's a weird situation for him to be like, Sylvie, I know this is what you want, but I want you to completely neglect that. And it's like, Mobius, like, I'm your bestie. Sylvie, I don't give a fuck about what you want. Everyone else doesn't matter either. Like, cool.
Yeah, like,
who's
why
the
are they all
Who's the
there?
good guy again?
OB makes sense because he technology, but the other two, KC and B15, do they need to be there?
I love
No.
Bob.
Kind of replaceable, to
They're-
be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, sure they fit purposes in the story, but from an effect of making
They really
the
don't.
TVA again, are they needed? I don't know.
They were trying to make, you know, B15 some like fucking leader, and it's like, bro, like nobody gives a shit about this arc. And then Casey, they tried to make him go from like side character that was like light humor to being like, oh, he's important. No, he's not.
Literally mopping the floor in the first episode of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, to like being an expert.
Oh,
on
I read the
manual.
TVA guidebook. I know what to do.
Oh my god, I'm such a fan of Ouroboros. Oh my god. Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Show stinks.
Yeah.
No buys.
Disappointing.
What are we thinking for ratings?
Um,
What did we get
Better
last
than the
time?
Flag
6?
Smashers.
Was it like 6s all across? I think last time or something.
0.0. No. No. Fucking 4.5.
Damn.
What,
Wait,
Sylvie
isn't
or
that
the
lower
episode?
than?
What was the last
Isn't that
episode?
lower? I don't remember what you gave last episode.
No,
it
what
5
was
or
the last
something,
episode? What happened?
Oh.
I don't remember the last episode, period. I'll give it a fucking 5, I
That's
guess.
good.
I'm so fucking... This number score I'm giving it is being influenced by the previous episode as well. I will
For sure, yeah.
dictate that. I will let you know that.
Yeah.
It's been the whole season except for episode 1, bro.
And I
Because
was
it
like,
didn't
all
have
right.
anything to influence it.
God.
What do you think it's Sly?
I gotta give it a 5. It's bad, but this is like middle ground. This was one of those things
Sets
like
up
at
the
the end of it,
finale, dude.
that was the issue. It did such a shit job at that. It did a bad job. It didn't leave me wondering. Like last season's episode 5 when they beat Elias and you see like the soul in the middle of the fog. Shit was suspenseful. It was cool. It left you excited. This was just like, cool. We wasted 45 minutes of my time and undid something unnecessarily, and we have no idea where it's going and what that's gonna do. It's too up in the air. It needs a little more sense of direction or assumption. Otherwise, we're just guessing at everything.
Yeah, we still don't know if like the TVA is the point of this is to save the TVA or like restructure it or do something new or what. I
It's
have
like,
no idea.
yeah, that was it. Oh, you know, we kind of glossed over that. The whole noodle thingy apparently is a contingency plan put into place.
Oh yeah, that really irked me actually.
I
can't
forgot
believe we didn't
that.
talk about that because like why is that not in the manual? If there's a failsafe, why
Exactly.
didn't they know about it? And
Unless
why?
this is some shit that like He Who Remains put in, so he didn't even need fucking what's her name, Miss Minutes and Renslayer to bother doing anything. He already had a contingency where he's like, if this falls to shit, it'll just reset and start anew.
Oh yeah, where's
Well, they
Miss
should make
Minutes?
that more obvious if
Where's-
that's the case.
Miss Minutes during all of this.
Exactly.
Who
Exactly.
knows?
too many loose threads, no pun intended, and none of them are getting tied into like the main like story. Way too many loose threads.
Yeah. I think I'll give it a 6. I think that's what I gave the last one. This one's about on par with the last episode. Nothing too crazy.
He's
Can't
too
really...
compassionate, John. There's still goodness in him. We gotta
beat it out of him.
We gotta beat it out of him.
I mean, to be fair, it's been whittled away. Usually I'm a little bit, I'm even
more positive side, yeah, you.
But like just the quality of Marvel shows and Disney shows recently has been a little bit low. So it's just like it's wearing me down. I'm getting there. Marvel and Disney fatigue. It's taking its toll. So when we get a little bit of like kind of good stuff, you're like, holy shit, this was great. Like,
yeah.
You know, and Andor comes out and you're like, oh damn, like this is the best storytelling. And it's like,
yeah.
I mean, it's still good, but it's like it's still not revolutionary. It's just like the best stuff because all the other stuff is kind of bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess 6 is a solid 6.
What's our official score then?
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5.
There you go. Episode 5, 5.5. There you go. Well, we'll see you on episode 6, the finale of Loki season 2, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Woo. Peace.
Bye.